to my channel. I do hope you're doing well. Now I am going to apologise for the god awful lighting, okay? I've decided I want to film in the back room, but I can't be bothered to get my ring light out. So we're going to go with the natural light, but we've got the tree light. Guys, we've got the tree here, and I really want to do some more videos incorporating the tree because she is a baby and we need to make the most of her, because it pains me to think that in maybe like 6 weeks she's not going to be here. And you're too fabulous. You are actually too fabulous. But my lovelies, we are here. We are comfy. We have got our drink to hand. And it is going to be the last travel diaries for 2022. Can you believe it? I will still be continuing this next year though. Don't worry about that. I think we're going to have maybe like a bucket list of the places I would like to go. Maybe a 30 before 30 list. Maybe of travels. We're of course going to have log cabins. We have got Jamaica in September, and who knows, we might have some little hotel breaks along the way. We might have some city breaks. So please don't think that the travel diaries is going to cease. It might not be every month because obviously we've been recouping this year for all of our prior travels, so it may just be your travel diaries will be your vlogs, and then we have like big roundups at the end. But yeah, I definitely want to get a big bucket list out there just so that I can see where maybe you guys want to go, and if it's like me, we can plan all of these future memories together, right? But yes, today's topic, as you can see, is UK log cabins. And now, I don't mean to boast, but I think I know a good cabin. I have gone to cabins for probably the past, I'm going to say 3 years. We went to the first cabin when sea struck and we couldn't go abroad. So I was like, you know what, I'm not staying at home. I need to do something. I only go away to cabins Monday to Friday. However, you can also do Friday to Monday. So if you just want like a short overnight stay for a weekend, you can do that. The company that I swear by in every single log cabin that I have gone to is through Host Seasons. www.hostseasons.co.uk. I will of course leave them always linked down below. And they are just second to none. There used to be a website also called Darwin Escapes, which I think is like the sister company of them. However, it just didn't really float my boat. I didn't like the way the website was laid out, and it just wasn't a bit of me. With Host Seasons, you can go on and literally customize down to a T. So not only do you choose your dates and location, you decide what type of property you want, because you don't just have to have a log cabin. You can have a tree house, you could have a cottage, you could have an apartment. There is so many things on there, and there's also a new section now with boats. So in some places, I think like Norfolk Broad for example, you can actually hire a boat. Not that I'm going to be at the forefront like Sailor Shan, hey ho, let's be a captain. I think I need to keep my feet firmly on solid ground and not in a water bath. Well, water bath, a boat. I would end up being in a water bath because I'd probably fall out knowing my luck. I would love to do treehouse ones. However, tree houses are super expensive and you have to book, I'm thinking about 18 months in advance. I looked for next winter and completely gone. So, UK log cabins, where shall we start? Locations. So when you go on to Host Seasons, you can literally go on and it will all be in the counties and categories, everything like that. The furthest that I have gone up in a cabin is to the Lake District. So that is pretty much like Cumbria area, not too far from Nana. And that is as far up as I've gone. And I think as far down has probably been Somerset. We went to Cheddar, and that was our first one. Obviously I used to go there with B. However, I have done a log cabin on my own. If you saw the vlog, oh my god, why is my hair knotty? Total digression, but I did go to the log cabin on my own this year, which was the Lake District. So I went to the furthest one for my first one on my own. However, the first one that me and B done was, I think it was, I'm going to say September, October 2019. Obviously we went to sea here and there wasn't as many lockdown restrictions. You could still go away to cabins and everything like that. I don't know about you guys, but everything about a cabin excites me because it's like a home away from home. You go in, and depending what type of style you get, as I say, it's very site specific. So you can have a log cabin, you could have like a trailer home, you could have a caravan, you could have a tree house, you could have like a little studio. Some that I see are like in vans. You can get like a van converted. There is so much that is out there for possibilities, and it's actually really nice to see different parts of the UK, you know. It's not like it's just, oh, it's another part of it. Like, no, it's actually, there are so many beautiful places as well in the UK. You might think, pfft. I mean, I know with this cold weather, we're probably not vibing with it. However, I don't think you can beat being in the hot tub in like February, because that's normally when I would go, February, and then it would be like September, October time if I wasn't going abroad. February is always a must for a log cabin, because going in the hot tub, then coming out, putting a fluffy dressing gown on, majority of them would have log burners, or if they didn't have log burners, they would have the most immense radiators, coming out being toasty warm, going and cooking your dinner, or calling the on-site restaurant for room service, or even getting a takeaway, a bit of Just Eat and delivery, you know. It's definitely much a home away from home. So how I start my log cabin process is I will normally look about 6 months before. With host seasons, if you book a certain time in advance, a lot of them you can sometimes book with just a deposit, and the deposit can range from £25 to £75, I believe. It's so tempting to book loads, because you think, I want to do that, I want to do that. And like, I'm very much one, like, I could go on a Friday night from work and then drive straight to work on Monday morning, regardless of the location, okay? I'm looking at Edinburgh like, yeah, I could do that. Leave Edinburgh at like midnight on Monday and still get in for like 7 AM, you know? I look about 6 months in advance. I will always filter it down to a T. So my filtering, I don't necessarily filter by location, because I'm not too fussed about where I end up, to be perfectly honest. I would filter it with free Wi-Fi, preferably on-site facilities, like a restaurant, or sometimes they have a spa and like a leisure centre. The one that I'm going to in February has got an on-site restaurant and also an on-site spa, swimming pool and gym. So definitely I will be getting back into the gym. Sorry if you hear like a whirring, it's the heating coming on. I mean, a luxury, we don't have the heating on often, so when it comes on, the old pipes are a bit like, whoo, what is happening here? And then I filter it down to, this isn't going to be for everyone, but I filter it down to 9 and 10 ratings. That is just a personal preference, and you can get so many good ones that are 7 and 8. I think the lowest is a 7 that they do, but they are still immaculate. And sometimes when I don't have the rating filter on and I see some of the places that are say an 8, I think, why are you not a 9 or a 10? They look absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I would filter it with rating 9 to 10, free Wi-Fi, on-site facilities, whatever that may be. Sometimes they don't always have on-site facilities. There was one I went to in Devon, and it was a fairly new one, and it was literally just the cabin, that was it, which in a way was very nice. And I think also, where was the other one we went to? Thetford. That didn't have an on-site restaurant or anything. That was just purely your log cabins. You would drive up, get your key code, go in, and that would be it. However, they'd be like within 2 minutes walk, you would have pubs and everything nearby. I do like having the option of having a restaurant on site, because a lot of them would do room service or like takeaway. They deliver it to your cabin, or you just walk down to the on-site complex and pick them up. I would say, if you are someone who, say for example, like me, you like your own space and you just want to get away for a week, well, it's not even a week, it's Monday to Friday, or you can choose your dates, I would strongly suggest a log cabin. I just think it's so relaxing. It's almost, you're on holiday, but you're not on holiday because you're still in the UK. But it's just something different. Like, they are always in the most stunning locations as well. Like, for me, living down the south, very close to London, everything is pretty much like a concrete jungle. I'm not going to lie, we don't really have greenery down here, to be perfectly honest. If there is spare space, they will build on it. So to open, oh sorry my lovelies, I just kicked you there. So to open the door and just see fields or like a lake, oh, It really does calm me. And I think you've seen a few log cabins on the vlogs. You've seen the one when we went to Shropshire. That was back when I had red hair. Oh my God, who remembers that? And the reason I like the log cabins is because they are always in like rural places. And for me, I love going sightseeing. I am a proper tourist. Whether I'm abroad or in England, I love doing tourist things. I'm going to the museums, I'm going to the castles, I'm going to the pubs, and I absolutely love it. When we went to Shropshire, there was like a castle that you could go to, and it was a completely free entry one. And then they had one which was in... Oh, that's really going to bug me. If you remember, I bought everything from that gift shop. When I had my red hair, I bought my coat of arms on a plaque. Not a plaque, like a scroll. I bought bookmarks, everything. That's really going to annoy me. But they have a lot of places that are part of National Heritage or National Trust, I want to say. And it's basically, you know, like Merlin passes. I will link it down below. I'm sure it's National Heritage. It's like a red logo. And basically it's all castles and like kind of historical sites around England, and you pay a membership and you can just go to see them. That is something I'm thinking I might do next year, because I really like... People might think it's really boring. I love walking around abandoned castles because it fathoms me how people used to live like that. Like when you see the structures and the turrets and that, like, it really does... I love it. I absolutely love it. When I went, I'm sure you probably could have told in the videos, B didn't really like it. And yeah, I loved it though. I absolutely loved it. It is... I just find it very calming, and I'm very much one, I like to find out about history. If you ask me any subject at school which I loved, apart from biology, I loved history. Absolutely loved history. And I just think because you have one life and we're not all going to be here forever, unfortunately. And I mean, no one's going to be learning about me in the books, but I think it's good to educate yourself on certain things prior to your existence, to be perfectly honest. And yeah, I just find it very calming. And they always have, okay, they always have the cutest gift shops. That is just another reason for me to go and buy Tut. Let's be perfectly honest, okay? So yeah, we've done quite a few. It was Somerset, which was Cheddar. Then it was Thetford, Norfolk. And then it was Shropshire. And then I done Lake District. I loved that. I tell you what, I looked on my views the other day, and I think my week alone in the log cabin is my 3rd top viewed video. That baffles my mind because it is literally me in a log cabin. If you've seen that video, let me know down below what you thought, because it was just me and I was just exploring. I went into Carlisle, the main city centre, done a bit of shopping, of course, done a bit of damage. I had a masseuse. I had like someone come to my lodge and I had a lovely massage. I went out to a gin distillery and had fish and chips on my own in the restaurant. And that was my first real, I'd say, solo trip. So if you're new around here, or you might remember if you're not, I split up with my ex. It was probably around January time when things started going a bit belly up. And the log cabin came and he couldn't get time off, la-di-da-di-da. And I was like, well, I'm still going to go. I wasn't going to lose my money. I didn't even get my mouth around the straw at that point. I wasn't going to lose my money. And there was no type of like reconcile to rebook it. So I was like, well, I'm going on my own. And that was my first solo travel. And not going to lie, I was bricking it. You know why I was bricking it? I didn't think my car would make it there. I really get worried about poor Bug. Oh my God, I've got cramp. I get really worried about Bug. Because as much as she gets checked over, trust me, when I drive that car, she's given a full 360 point turn. Have I dropped something on my thing? What is... Oh no, it's my straw. Oh my God, what a cut. Guys, I'm looking in the viewfinder and I'm like, what is that on my thing? It's not, it's my straw. I haven't had that much to drink. I promise this will work night. Just a little festive cheer, eh? And I get really worried that my car's not going to take me there. She was good, touch wood, she's all good. She's a little bit rattly at the minute, but I think that's just the coldness. Anyone else's car go a bit funny when it gets cold? I think she just needs a bit of TLC. So I got up there in one piece. I filled up with petrol. Pat on the back. I was a big adult and done my own car because I don't know what it is. Petrol stations just fluster me. Absolutely fluster me, I tell you. And I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God. So made it up there. However, got stuck in the worst traffic. So I'd made the journey up the night before and stayed actually with B's sister back then in Warwickshire. And it was only supposed to take me like 3 hours from there. And it took me 4.5. It got dark. It was country lanes. It was raining. And by the time I got there, the staff had gone home because the complex that I was on in the Lake District, it had a restaurant at the front which done breakfast and light lunches. And then after that, it weren't there because it was literally, that was probably the most rural place I've been. So when I got there, I had to like find my email for the key code. And then I pulled up and I was like, I don't know if this is my cabin, because silly me, I didn't think to take a map with me. They give you maps when you clocked in to be like, right, your lodge is this. And I was just like, get me to a lodge. So I went down and I was like, oh, I can't just randomly pull into a lodge because they all had lights on. And I'm like, but how do I know which one is mine? So luckily I had the lady's number saved and I was like, hi, I've just pulled out. She was like, I think I can see you. Flash your lights. So I was flashing away. She was like, I'm coming over to you. She was like, right, your log cabin's here. And I was right down the end, which, oh, I loved. When I showed Mum, she was a little bit freaked out because I was right at the end and then next to me was just like barren fields. And Mum was like, Shan, please be careful. Like when you're in that hot tub, I was like, Mum, you can't get on the complex without knowing the key code. She was like, but people can walk around. I'm like, oh my God, that's the last thing you want to be saying to me. My first trip on my own. And you're like, yeah, but people can walk through the gates, Shan. I'm like, great. Absolutely great, mother. But I got there. It was very, very flummoxed the first day. But I walked in and if you've seen the vlog, you will know I was just like, what? What? I had a sauna in the bathroom. Like, what? And the kitchen I loved. It was just so lovely. And the bed, oh my God, wasn't that the biggest, tallest bed you've ever seen? I literally felt like Princess and the Pea. And who remembers when I jumped on and I actually knocked my leg and pretty much cried like a baby? I was, oh. Yes. So the next morning woke up and on site, as I say, they had that little restaurant that done breakfast and lunch and there was also a farm shop. So I done a little bit of a shop, okay. Normally we would do like a full shop beforehand. I done a little bit of a food shop because I thought, you know what? Every time I went away to a log cabin, I would always be cooking. I would be cooking and washing up. And I thought, no, I don't want that. I actually want to have a break for me. This trip is for me and I don't want to cook every night. So the first night when I go, I normally just get a ready meal. So I think that was what I had. And then I went down to the farm shop, got a bit carried away. I went out to, where did I go? I think I went to a garden centre one day and on a detour back I saw another farm shop and I was like, oh. And I'm sorry, farm shop butchers and food is just different. I don't care what it is, it's just different. So of course I got a bit carried away then. And then one day when I went to the gin distillery, I had a lovely fish and chips out on my own. And that I think was quite a turning point. The distillery itself was fine. I was with a group of men. They was like dads and granddads and son. It was like a nice little family trip. But that was my first time eating in a restaurant on my own. I do apologise. This lighting is god awful, ain't it? But I just wanted the baby to be in the shop. That was the first time that I'd ate at a restaurant on my own. And I'm not going to lie, I got put as soon as you walk in on a table for two. So everyone who walked in, they looked. It was just, I think, natural to look. I had the cutest elderly couple next to me who asked if I wanted to go and sit with them when they was eating that sausage and mash. And I was like, I know, I'm perfectly fine, thank you. And I set up my iPad. I put a bit of Netflix on. I had my headphones in. And yeah, I thought, you know what, I can do this. I'm actually okay. And then I was like at the garden centres and out and about. And it didn't bother me. When I went into Carlisle, I didn't feel, oh my God, like I'm going shopping on my own, because I pretty much do go shopping on my own. Even back then, if I wasn't on my own, Mama G would come with me because men don't really like shopping, do they? So something like that, going to like shopping centres and that doesn't bother me at all. I can quite happily get in a car, go and do a road trip, bit of shopping. I actually really enjoy it. Get a nice coffee, chill out and be done with it. Eating out was a big thing for me, and that was what I was most worried about when I went abroad. So if you watch the Dominican vlogs, you will know that I had real bad anxieties for like eating out on my own because I didn't know how it was going to be. And for Dominican, it's pretty much a lot of American people. And as much as I love American people, they can be very outspoken. And I thought if someone just genuinely says, oh, are you on your own? I don't know how I would have reacted to that. And the first night I got there, I had room service. I was not going out. The second night I ventured out, and you had a few comments like when they sat you down and they say, oh, table for, I'm like, oh, just one. The bit that got me where you kind of think, oh, okay, now it looks like strange, was when they would take away the place settings for the second person. But you know what? I saw that as, that's just my space. That was where I set my camera up. I put my Kindle there. And after the first night, I just thought, Shan, what on earth was you worried about? And I tell you what, I think that gave me more push to actually get ready, get dolled up, try and scrub up a bit well. Not that you're going out like, and this was something I didn't want to come across in the holiday vlogs. And touch wood, I never had any comments like this. So I am thankful that it's come across just as me, because I didn't want people to think, why is she getting dressed up when she's literally going for dinner on her own? Why can you not dress up and go for dinner on your own? Like, I was on holiday. I wanted to look nice. I still wanted to take pictures. I know it's just me and I might have a selfie stick, but I still wanted to take pictures. And I thought, no, I want to look nice. Some nights I did go down with no makeup on. I was fine with it. You got a few comments from the waiters and that, and after a few days, they're like, hey, what was I? I was Miss Bailey's on the Rocks, Miss Shannon, Princess, everything like that. They get used to you. So I would say if you are on your own, or even if you're not on your own and you just want to maybe try and conquer something or go out on your own, go maybe, how can we start off? Like maybe go somewhere for a coffee on your own. Take a book or take a puzzle book, anything that calms you down, and just see if you can go and just relax and be on your own. Because honestly, that trip done me the world of good. It gave me kind of a new, not, it's going to sound so cliche, a new sense of life, but kind of like, this is the hand you've been dealt, so deal with it. And with all the kerfuffles and the run up to it, which I swear to God I better not have next year because I think I'll actually have a breakdown, it made me think, you're all right. Like, you come into this world on your own, you've been on your own before, and you're on your own now. Like, you are perfectly fine. And I'm going to give myself a pat on the back because I think I conquered a lot of fears out there. I went ziplining, everything like that. And yeah, I was proud of myself for that. But anyway, look at that. I'm totally digressing onto the abroad one. If you haven't seen the Dominican vlogs, it's in the Time for a Getaway playlist or the Vlogs Welcome to My Life playlist. Go and have a little chuck away. But Shannon Lee, let's get back in with the log cabin ones. So how I would sum up log cabins is do your research. Do your research. I always go on host seasons, but then I will also type it in Google to see if they have their own designated website, to see if pictures differ, location differ, price differs. Host seasons, I've never had a problem with finding that they was like more expensive or anything. In fact, they've always been on a better deal than dealing directly with a place, which you think counteracts it, but yeah, it's always the way with that. Filter, filter, filter. As I say, at least 6 months, I would say. They do, however, have a really good range of like last minute deals where you can book within, say, 4 weeks. It's normally, I think, what's the earliest? Earliest sometimes you can look on a Monday to like book for a Friday. So if you really wanted something last minute, however, it's normally like 2 to 4 weeks for your last minute deals. You can book up to a year in advance. As I say, it has to be paid the balance 12 weeks before you go. However, you could book somewhere for next year and just pay a £25 to £75 deposit. I cannot fault host seasons enough. I actually can't. I just love the simplicity of it. If you go on the website, as I say, I'll leave it down below. This isn't an ad as well, by the way. It's just a company or a website that I wouldn't go anywhere else for it, because I genuinely think it makes the process so much easier. And sometimes I just look and I'm like, Shan, you're not even going to go away. But I like to see what's new. There is always new stuff being added. But I do think next year, I can't go miles and miles away because that would be very irresponsible. But I'm thinking maybe like once every 3 months, or 4 months, maybe every season when the season changes. Booking maybe just like a Friday to Monday. Majority of them are check-in from 4 or 5 p.m. on the evening of whatever day you go in, and check-out's normally between 10 or 12 depending what area you're in. But yeah, I think like, oh, maybe I could do that. Like if I could find some bits in like the south of England that wasn't too far, I could maybe leave work a little bit early on a Friday, go down, have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's the only thing I miss. Because I go Monday to Friday, I can never go to the pubs for a Sunday dinner. Maybe I need to do that just to go for a Sunday dinner. I think that might have to be a plan. Yes, I think that is most definitely going to be a plan. And then I could just drive back Monday and go straight to work. There are so many beautiful places, my lovelies. Honestly, I know we sometimes bash Britain, but there is some lovely places. It just goes to show the contrast from south to north, because I've always found the northern places we go is beautiful. Well, actually no, because when we went down to Somerset, that was beautiful. If you're in and around the M25, unfortunately we're just concrete jungle. That is the sad thing, and I think it takes away the beauty. So when you do go away to somewhere like this, you appreciate it so much more. And that is why I think, still in my head now, I would love to live in Norfolk when I'm older, because that was the one place I was like, you know what? That is where I want to be. It was just lovely down there. It was absolutely lovely. And yeah, many memories in log cabins, and many more memories to come, you know. So look at me, I've been sitting here rabbiting on. You're probably thinking, what a boring video. I hope you don't feel like that. I just want to try and maybe help anyone if you're thinking of doing a log cabin or a little getaway in England. However, if you've got any places that you would recommend, or any websites, companies, anything like that, leave them down below for me in the comments bar, my lovelies, because as I say, I'm always here to look out for other people, other places. If there's a deal your girl wants it, if there's these like wacky things that you think she needs to try, like sleeping in the treehouse, or oh my god, my voice went funny there because I was so excited. You can stay in a thing called Hagrid's Hut. That is so blooming expensive though, I'm not gonna lie, but it looks so blooming cute. That could be something I put on the bucket list for next year. Okay? Who knows? But if you did enjoy the video, guys, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below. As I say, leave me a comment if you've watched any of the log cabin vlogs. What was your favourite? What do you think I need to try and experience next time? Where would you like to see me go maybe in the UK? Are there any places that you think that is beautiful, that is where she needs to go? But yeah, I'm going to stop rabbiting on and let you get on with your day. I think we've got a few hauls coming up next. I'm not too sure. Is it hauls or some sit-downs? I don't know. We'll have to see, my lovelies. But yes, take care, stay safe as always, and I'll see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye, guys.